You're listening to the DIY Creative Podcast with Senator Jaiz.
All right. Got a little bit of a weird start there, but that's all right. Thank you, Mark Yoshimoto Nemcoff, mynsays.com for those show openers. This is episode 11, and we're going to talk about perfection today. You may hear the sound bed that I use for these shows. Actually, if you've been listening, you have heard it, and if you're watching now, you're hearing it. This is Liberamente 4, which is a piece of music I did with Skidmatic, one of my label mates. He's on Reaching for Lucidity Records. You can find that at reachingforlucidity.com. And this is part of a bigger project for the Museum of Natural Sciences here in Raleigh. I am the composer there, the soundscape designer. I also do audio exhibit design. And we have a traveling exhibit called Mazes and Brain Games. And what I wanted to do was create a soundscape for the exhibit. And I got with 5 other composers, Aphrodisiac Mac, Michael Herron, Petri Dish, Deja Cuse, and Skidmatic. And I gave each of them a BPM range and a key to write in. And I asked them to send me around 10 minutes of music. I took all of the pieces of music they made, and then I made my music on top of that and tied all the pieces together. And that is now the soundscape of the exhibit at the museum. And this is Liberamente 4, the part that I did with Skidmatic. You can find this. This is a release, and you can find it on all the major places: iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, on and on. It is Music for Mazes by me, Senator Jaiz. So now we're moving on and talking about perfection today. And what do I mean by perfection? This is something that artists deal with. I've dealt with it in the past. I have gotten past it, but a lot of artists haven't gotten past it. And that is the search for perfection is stopping you from releasing. It's stopping you from sharing your work. It's stopping you from creating. You get stuck on a piece and you're not going to let it out to the world till it's perfect. I was talking to a friend who's been working on their album for 3 years, and they keep saying they're really close to releasing that album. In that time frame, a lot of other people I know, including myself, have released tons of work. Not just music, all kinds of art. Because the search for perfection, it's a fool's errand. You can never get perfection. Sometimes you have to settle for good enough. And good enough to the people out there that are listening to your work or looking at your work or reading your work. That is perfection to them. Because as artists, we are hardest on ourselves. People out in the world, except those that are out to bring us down, but people that like your work, your tribe, the fans you have cultivated, they love what you do. That mix, when you get it to good enough and you just keep working on it, you're only going to damage it because you're looking for perfection and you've gone beyond where it's good. When you're writing and you edit and overthink things, you take it from where you got to good and you think you're going up and you think you're getting more to perfection, but you're really starting to bring it down. Artists, whether it be illustrators, painters, what have you, same thing. Keep overworking something, and instead of going up, you start bringing it down. Because as an artist, you're never gonna be subjective enough to say that you've achieved what you wanted to achieve. You always want to tweak it to get that little bit more sizzle in your mix, or that little more pop in your colors, or the little bit more flair in your words. And that's stopping you from building your catalog of work, building your legacy, and giving your fans what they want, which is work from you. They want your art. That's why they're your fans. Sometimes you're going to make duds. I make duds. I find that when I make a dud, it's best to trash it and move on. I'm not talking about something that may have potential in the future. I just don't know where it's going. I'll save those and revisit them later. But you know when you've done something that's just not good. Just don't try to perfect that. Don't even try to make that good. Just get rid of it and then move on to something else. To get to your really good work, you've got to go through a lot of bad work. And you learn how to make good work by making bad work. But you never get the bad work out of the way if you get stuck on a piece, or stuck on an album, or stuck on a piece of art, or stuck on a piece of writing. You've got to get them done. You've got to share them. You've got to get them out to the world, or make the conscious decision to trash it and move on. Because to get to the good, you've got to get to the bad. And to get to the bad, you've got to finish work. So, stop looking for perfection and release your good work. Your fans, they don't know the difference. In our live things that we do at the museum, we always stress about things because we know the little mistakes that were made in our live programs at work. This cue wasn't exactly perfect. That mic was a little hot or a little low, or this, that, and the other. The thing is, we never look at it from the mindset of the audience watching. They don't know anything happened. They don't know anything was wrong. They just know that they had an entertaining program that we at the museum put on as a live event. This isn't just for live events, though. This goes for your work that you create in your studio. The audience just wants your work. They don't really care if you didn't dig out enough EQ at a certain point. They don't care that your compressor wasn't set exactly right. They don't care that that shade of red may have been a little off for what you liked. They may not know that line that you wrote that's just killing you because you know you could have said it better. They don't know that. They just want your art and they want to consume it. So stop going for perfection and release good enough, and then move on to your next project and get the bad out the way so you can get to that good. So, everybody, Aben Crawford here. Those that know me friendly, Senator Jaiz, and I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Follow me on Instagram as @Senator Jaiz. Follow me at Twitter @Senator Jaiz. Facebook, facebook.com/Senator Jaiz. And I am Senator Jaiz at YouTube. Check out my Spotify. Please give me a follow there if you can. I would really appreciate it. Until next time, everybody, this is episode 11. Stop seeking perfection. Cheers, everyone. Bye.